very, very well known, really needs no introduction. That's one of the reasons I'm here. And there's another thing apart from qualification. I have the intent to be here. The qualification is like all for foolhardy young minds. Mine also thought of tobacco, used it. Unfortunately, before being affected by any of its ills, hopefully, I had quit. And thank you, that's a belated applause. But I quit a long time. But wisdom came to me the hard way. I saw some of my friends drop dead right in front of my eyes. Apart from all the threats that are thrown at you about tobacco use and all that, I think what attracts us is the peer pressure. I think it's very in thing to do, and you want to be part of the crowd, so you sort of waving out to your friend and saying, hey, I'm your gang too. That's why you smoke, that's why I smoke. And today I see a lot of my friends, lady friends, picking up a cigarette, and I ask them, young ones, and I ask them why they do it. If a man can do it, I can do it too. So that's not a good reason. A man can never give birth to a child, you can. I said, why don't you throw that at his face instead of a cigarette into your mouth? So I think, I don't think I convinced the lady, but she will be. Her bad breath will convince her. Every day morning she looks at her teeth and it changes color, and that might convince her. But I don't want her to stop when it's too late. Not at one of those, what do you call, chemotherapy sessions. That's too late to stop smoking. I just now saw a friend of mine, a very, very talented friend of mine. He's a very talented actor, he teaches acting, and here he is. And he used to smoke very stylishly, I remember. But today he couldn't speak to me, he had phlegm in his throat, and not enough voice or vocal cords to say hello to an old friend. So that's what I've seen, and that's what most of you would have seen. I don't have to tell a bunch of doctors how bad it is. But I've seen a lot of doctors who smoke. As a matter of fact, someone told me that tobacco is a vasoconstrictor, so don't use it. And then I said, I have a remedy for that. Alcohol is a vasodilator. So that's what happened with half-baked knowledge. So I thought one would set off the ill effects of the other, but till someone else told me. And I used to ask my doctor, Doctor, I have reduced my smoking, I've now brought it down to 2 a night. I like it. And he said, why is that? He said, I get a real high when I smoke that cigarette in the night because it hits me right on and I go to sleep. It's as good as 2 bags of any alcohol. He said, well, go ahead and smoke 20 cigarettes. Because you're damaging your system anyway. You're shocking your heart in the night with those 2 cigarettes. And instead of gradually going through the ramp, you're now shocking. So you might as well smoke, it's the same. Whether you smoke 2 cigarettes or 20 cigarettes, it's the same effect. So how you want to die, enjoying yourself or containing your habit, it's up to you. But this is what, the ill health will be there. So I was advised that way. I don't know how to advise people. And I think one thing about, very apologetically here in this anti-tobacco movement, they say it's very difficult to quit smoking. I don't think so. It's there in your mind. What is difficult for others is easy for me. People would think sitting in a film studio for 8 hours, even if you're paid, saying the same things over and over again, is very difficult, very boring. You ask me, I'll tell you, it's lovely. I'll do nothing else. Probably the only other thing I'll enjoy doing is service, like what you're doing here. I admire what you're doing. I admire what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. We have devious minds, film people, script writers. We know how to jerk tears out of people. So we're always thinking of that sharp word, that sting in your script. But nothing could match what I saw today. Not because he's a friend who's there, but every time I see someone afflicted by any disease which is terminal or incurable, I don't feel fortunate for having escaped it. I feel important for having, not being able to do something about it. I admire doctors, but they do something about it. I wish you all good luck. I wish you patience of various kinds. One is what you keep and what you send away. Phonetically they sound the same, but one you have to keep, one you have to keep sending away, cured, if not treated. I'm happy to be part of this moment. I'll have to tell my daughter, I'll have to tell my friends who are still at it. I keep telling them, I hope I do win, like Atma also hopes that it will win. And if not for their own sake, I think smokers should think of other people on whom they force their smoke. I think it's a civic duty, if not to yourself, then to others. It's as important as not spitting or urinating on the streets. I think that's how I'm not at all upset about the strong measures that our government is taking against tobacco. I think it should be even stronger. If anyone who has a critical thing for reasons of democracy or whatever, or freedom of smoke, speech, whatever they say, I think they should come and visit one of these wards before they're quick to speak on matters so important to society. I think that God, if there is one, resides in all of us. And so let's respect that and let's not smoke the gods out of ourselves. For those who are godless like I am, take care of your health. Because it's more important. If you don't have a God to repent to, if you don't have a God to go seek help, and only doctors can help you, and all the more, be more careful. Don't abuse your own body, and others too in this case. That's all I have to say. I love advising because it's easy to give away. I very rarely get an opportunity because I'm getting it all the time through my life. So whenever I do get an opportunity to opinionate or advise, I jump at it. I don't care if anybody listens to me or not. I have told you what I think is best, some out of experience, some out of people who told me out of their wisdom. I'm only mimicking certain things I've heard. But there are certain things which I have personally experienced. I personally feel it's a bad deal for just the pleasure of smoking. What you pay is much more. So if you're a good businessman, you won't smoke. Because it ultimately is it's a raw deal. It's a very, very bad deal. Someone is cheating you, selling you so little pleasure for so much of a price. So every which way you look at it, this is wrong. And I'm speaking so long because somebody is recording all this, and probably it will be put to use somewhere. All of you know, I don't have to tell you. But the reason why I continue speaking is we know the effect it has, and we know the effect of the media and how far-reaching it is. Now I'm not speaking to doctors in the pretext of speaking to doctors and students and people who are already aware about the ills of tobacco. I'm talking to a larger crowd, a larger section. And that's why I'm speaking in the national language, English, and not in the local language. അറിയാവുന്ന ഭാഷയിൽ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ പറയാതെ പോയത്. കാരണം വേറെ സ്റ്റേറ്റിലും ഉപയോഗിക്കാമല്ലോ. സ്പീച്ച് എവിടെയെങ്കിലും കട്ട് ചെയ്ത് for propaganda reasons. Let it be used for good reasons. So I thank you. I think you've got enough footage, right? Used elsewhere. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure doing eminent people, and that's why people like our young sports champion and I are here, because we do respect what you're doing. Yes, we may not be able to show our respects every morning, bring you up and say, go ahead, doing good work. But whenever we do good, all legal, so there's no question about how you're getting your money to do it. It's not that money that's important, it's the will. Some of the technicians, some of the doctors could have had a more affluent life in the US, but they left it to come back to us. I salute them. As an Indian, because I feel proud, then I salute them as a citizen of the world. They've come back to where they should be. Thank you.